Yukon Territory, Canada. It's a world ruled by ice and snow. 10 months of extremely cold winter. Everything lays down, but the wolves become extremely active. A chubby wolf baby crawled out of the cave. It looks far away, hoping that mother will come back soon. At this moment, Mother Wolf is following the wolf pack to hunt snow hares. After a fierce chase, the prey was captured. Mother Wolf snatches a piece of free leg. Run home as fast as possible. Baby wolf finally got something to eat. Mom looked at it lovingly. Originally, the mother and son could live happily and peacefully all the time. But not long after, the mother wolf went out to look for food. Seriously injured by a hunter, it is worried about the baby. Drag the body, move step by step. Climb home with my last breath. It fell in front of the house and saw the child for the last time. Then he closed his eyes peacefully. The wolf baby, who increased his understanding, thought his mother was asleep. It wants to wake up mom, but mom is not breathing. It just clings to its mother. Stay with her, until the falling snow covers the body. Until the cold engulfed mama. Wolf cub finally realizes mom has left him forever. It looks up to the sky and sends out a childish mourning. It can't survive without its mother. The sound of wolves is heard in the distance. After the wolf baby heard it, it followed the sound and chased after it. Wolves are at hand. If they can accept themselves, baby wolf is saved. But before it could catch up, the wolves ran away without a trace. Wolf cubs rowing alone in the snow. The wild land is full of dangers. Accidentally, it fell down the snow slope. Then fell into the ice and snow cave. The rock walls here seem to have scales. There's an eerie feeling of an alien world. The wolf cub bravely walked out of the snow cave. Hungry and cold, it searches all the way in the snow. Suddenly found a few gophers. The gopher quickly escaped from the hole. The wolf baby is digging and creating, but still didn't eat a bite. When you're hungry, whistle a few stubbles. But it doesn't taste very good. Not long after, the wolf cub found a small river. A few fat fresh fish stuck in the shallows. Baby wolf. Isn't this the food that mom used to bring to it? It's a pity it hasn't learned to hunt yet. Facing delicious food but dare not stop. Until the fish run away. It can only take a few sips of cold water to stuff its teeth. Baby wolf walks along the creek. When he was helpless, suddenly, a strange, two-legged beast found it and whistled teasingly at it. They stare at each other. A thrilling werewolf wrote the opening. Hello everyone. Welcome to our channel. This episode lets us walk into the Yukon Territory together. Witness the legend of the werewolf in the extremely cold place. At the end of the 19th century, North America entered a gold rush. A large number of European immigrants flooded into the Yukon Territory. Want to find gold and get rich overnight. The young and handsome Jack is one of them. Different from others, he has his father's treasure map in his pocket. After father dies, wants son to fulfill his golden dream. Jack is carrying a bag and holding snowshoes. Thousands of miles to this strange place. As soon as I got off the boat, the wallet was stolen by the thugs. In desperation, he could only go to his father's old friend. Climb the golden staircase, at an altitude of more than 2,000 meters. He finally found his old buddy Alex. In the face of this young man's soaring enthusiasm, Alex splashed cold water on his head. In this ghostly place, like a big ice cellar, countless people died in the search for gold mines. But few people can leave here with gold. He thinks that treasure map is not reliable. And now he's transporting his dead friend back to the hometown. But only he can take Jack to the place where the treasure is hidden. Under Jack's soft and hard bubble, Alex eventually compromised and was willing to sell him. 3 people, 7 dogs, plus a coffin. In this way, they marched toward the depths of the dense forest. Snow skiing all the way up the mountain. There are wolves following. They have been through all kinds of hardships. With the loss of a teammate. I'm finally arriving at my place. That is, when taking a break by the river. Jack accidentally discovers a wolf cub that survives on his own. He fell in love with this little guy immediately. But the baby wolf saw such a strange, two-legged beast for the first time. Turned around in fright and ran away. After walking for a while, it came to a small forest. After tossing all day, it didn't eat anything. Suddenly, it found a wild bird hanging in front of it. It jumps up and down wanting to eat meat. Finally stepped on the hunter's trap. An Indian chief came with hounds, shotgun in hand. He opened the little wolf's mouth and muttered to himself. White sharp teeth. It's a wolf dog crossbreed. Is the best working dog. Let's call it White Fang from now on. After speaking, the chief put a string on White Fang and took him home. In Indian tribe, White Fang undergoes daily weight training. Although it was hard work, it finally had a chance to survive. On the other side, after half a day of wrangling between Jack and Alex, finally arrived at the destination. My friend has been panning for gold here during his lifetime. I hope to be buried here after death. Alex's mission is finally complete. The difficulties and obstacles along the way have not been in vain. He looks excited. After my friends are buried in peace, Jack asked him if he wanted to say something. Alex was stunned for a while, then smiled and said, "You know what, I actually don't like this guy at all." Even so, Alex still chose to keep his promise. Completed the friend's dying request. Finish this big thing. The two continued to move forward and came to the small town of Krona. Alex has an old friend here. He intends to settle down here and doesn't want to take any more risks. Besides, he only promised Jack a ride. Now he has done it. But Jack seems to have identified him. This brave man with his word. Clearly the best partner for a companion adventure. Alex rejects Jack. Jack had to temporarily stay at the town hotel. After half a year, Alex still hasn't changed his mind. Jack had to build a boat by himself and planned to go to the gold digging site alone. Alex was moved by his firm belief and sincerity. Finally, in the early spring when the ice and snow melted, take all the supplies and equipment and set off together. Alex and his old lover are reluctant to leave. He promised to come back and marry her. The Yukon Territory is sparsely populated. Raw and wild beauty everywhere. Indians are aborigines, but already conquered by European guns. Alex has been in the area for decades. Meet many black and white characters. Also made some Indian friends. That night, they came to an Indian tribe to spend the night. It was the chief who had adopted White Fang who came to greet him. By this time, White Fang had grown into a mighty and strong adult wolf. Jack stared blankly at it. Always feel familiar. Jack's appearance hasn't changed. White Fang had evidently recognized him. Maybe the wonderful fate has already been doomed. Jack loves White Fang so much. He wants to touch it. Jack hoped the chief would treat White Fang well. But the chief said, "Man is their god, rather than their friends. I got white teeth just to make it work. Nothing else." Jack found that the dogs in the tribe were afraid of White Fang. And White Fang was very lonely too. It's always at dusk, standing quietly by the river, looking at the distant forest. Its eyes are filled with endless longing, but stuck in the footsteps of work responsibilities. I can only look up to the sky and howl, echoing the wolf's beak in the jungle. Jack knew that White Fang must be homesick. The next day Jack wandered around the village. I didn't expect to meet White Fang. He is thinking about going forward to communicate his feelings. Never thought, a fat big brown bear. Whoosh came out from behind. Jack ran away. The big brown bear is chasing after him. Fortunately, Jack was smart enough to get into the messy pile of wood. The brown bear opens its mouth wide and shows its fangs. Drool dripped all over Jack. Melon seeds like a machete almost crippled Jack's arm. Just when Jack's life was hanging by a thread, a heroic and fearless figure appears behind the brown bear. Here comes White Fang. But apparently it's no match for the brown bear. Regardless of size or strength, there is no chance of winning. White Fang backed away, leading the brown bear away, and quickly circled to the front of the woodpile to protect the man behind. It decided to fight to the death. Brown bear rubs melon seeds on the ground. It's like sharpening a knife on a stone. But White Fang didn't flinch at all. The brown bear stood up and roared angrily. White Fang answered it with sharp fangs. "Well, you win. I guess it will hurt for days after being bitten by you. A hero doesn't suffer from immediate losses." Slips away 8888. The brown bear threw in the towel while thinking this way and walked away. Jack was dumbfounded. White Fang became his savior. But instead of claiming credit, it turned around and left. Jack is leaving the next day. He saw White Fang still standing by the river, looking into the distance. In return for saving his life, he put the jerky on dead wood and murmured, "I won't forget you," when Jack loaded his luggage on board. Looking back, White Fang was gone. The boat carried 2 people down the river. White Fang bid farewell along the riverbank step by step. Reluctant feelings are rippling in the surging river. Towards the end of the night, Alex took Jack. Came to the place where his father used to pan for gold. The dilapidated hut still retains traces of the owner's life. This aroused Jack's deep nostalgia for his father. He was determined to fulfill his father's last wish, and then persuaded Alex to pan for gold here with him. The next day, the two of them were in full swing. On the other side, Chang took White Fang to the town to sell animal skins. Yi Chao was seen by a ground rogue. These thugs usually do anything wrong. Even their dogs are very nervous. They let the dog go straight to bite White Fang. The result is less than a minute. The big yellow dog was bitten to lie down and admit defeat. The land snake was startled. He must have White Fang. Go to a dogfight and win a lot of money. Chief, of course not. But the Indians have been scared by the whites. The word, "arrest and go to jail," made him succumb. And so White Fang fell into the clutches of the villain. They trained White Fang brutally. Within a few days, I couldn't wait to send it into the arena. The game is about to start, and the gamblers place their bets one after another. The countdown ended with 3 beeps, and White Fang and the collie fought together. Opponents are completely powerless, being pushed to the ground and crushed crazily. White Fang's fighting power stunned everyone. The ground snake kept screaming, "Bite it to death." He's getting mad after winning money. Rich businessman who lost money threatened revenge. In this way, White Fang became a money-making tool for these villains. It is forced to participate in bloody killings every day. Confined 4 nights in an iron cage, dejected. The local snake won the money and decided to send Bai Fang a bone. But White Fang was full of hatred for the villain. The snake casually threw the bone on the ground, in order to arouse White Fang's hatred and maintain its fighting power. In fact, White Fang was already starving. The other side, Jack and Alex. Days of hard work with no progress. Happy rainy weather. They decided to go to town to buy some supplies. On the same day, the rich businessman came to take revenge with his little vicious dog. This kind of dog is fierce and aggressive, and it will not let go when it bites the target. And it has a well-developed jaw with an amazing bite force. Although the subordinates reminded the local snake. But he was so arrogant that he turned a deaf ear. Even if White Fang is sent to die, he can't lose face in front of rich businessmen. The game has just started, both sides are evenly matched. But the little vicious dog is very fierce. It bit White Fang's neck and would not let go. Surrounded by sharp shouts and wild laughter. A few minutes later, White Fang was exhausted and fell to the ground. The little vicious dog will never rest until it kills it. The local snake is about to lose money. Angrily, he grabbed the stick and threw it at his teeth. Critical moment. A young man swung him from behind. Jack is here. Alex pointed the gun at the snake. Jack pried open the little vicious dog's mouth with an iron bar. Then picked up White Fang and left this ghost place. The local snake pointed at them and threatened, "This matter is endless." After taking White Fang to the tavern, Jack bandaged its wound. "Look at it, covered in bruises," and gasps. In order for White Fang to heal his wounds better, under many days of intensive care, Bai Fang has gradually recovered. "And I've learned how to dismantle the house." Jack approached cautiously. "Want to loosen the chain for it?" But White Fang is full of wariness towards humans. The first owner used it as a weight-bearing tool. Heartless humans hurt it too deeply. It doesn't trust humans anymore. Although Jack is very patient and cautious, Jack knew he needed to give White Fang some time. Getting along day after day, Jack warms White Fang with true feelings. White Fang was already willing to eat what he offered, but still dare not approach. Put the food in the palm of your hand and guide it slowly. At that moment, White Fang finally let down his guard. Feed in his hand. Jack seized the opportunity and stroked White Fang's forehead. The ice in Bai Fang's heart was melted by true feelings. In the days to come, they lived happily together, chasing in the woods, playing by the river. White Fang became the master's little helper in mining. There was a violent explosion in the mine. Alex ran to the rescue, but saw White Fang desperately digging a hole. Jack sticks his head out, panting. White Fang saved him again. White Fang is smart, brave, and empathetic. He touched White Fang's paw tenderly. Didn't expect them to be a blessing in disguise. A large piece of gold was found. Jack locked White Fang in the house, ready to take the gold to town to test its purity. Unexpectedly, White Fang jumped up and broke through the glass. Don't go with him. In town, Jack got the ideal test result. But they were also raped by the enemy. The local snake gang is brewing an evil plan. Jack and Alex are brimming with excitement and joy. Little do they know that danger lurks in the woods. A few thugs and gangsters have made a move. They blocked the chimney, leaned over the door. Just waited for the moment the two of them went out to shoot and kill. The bandits threw torches and set the cabin on fire. Then Rui opened the door ready for a one-hit kill. Almost scared the other party out of their wits. The snake shot at White Fang. It ended up at Grandma's house. He's backing away, reloading, and trying to fire a second shot. The ground snake was suddenly thrown down. He wanted to pick up the gun, but White Fang bit the turtle. If Jack hadn't stopped in time, I'm afraid his life is in jeopardy. In the end, all three were killed by glass. Jack and Alex turned them over to the police station. After all the dust settles, Alex decided to go back to San Francisco and open a hotel. Jack hates White Fang, but he can't bring a wolf into the city. And he knew that what White Fang needed most was freedom. Enduring the pain and struggling, he drove White Fang away. Jack stopped. He had an epiphany. He figured out the meaning of his life, and understand what is most important to him. He went back to the cabin. White Fang was there waiting for him. Blessings from the blue sky and white clouds, witnessed by green water and green mountains. The legend of Jack and White Fang will last forever.